Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mass Effect 2168. I think it's episode 5. So today we don't have Ollie. He's dealing with I don't know, British things. So we are going to run without him. Not a big deal. You know, I have lots of experience doing this over in Lost Initiative. So how's everybody's week going?
Pretty good.
My Skype just broke.
Yeah, yours keeps updating, right?
No, I'm like right now. There we go. It fixed itself.
The new Skype update, we actually had this for our last season of this show. There was a day where Ollie's updated, and we were like, revert, and we're like, okay. Then like a month and a half later, mine updated. I was like, no, revert. Like, oh god, Skype is just. We're eventually gonna have to switch over to Zoom, but for now, Skype works.
Or Discord, if Discord wants to be, have a gallery mode.
Yeah, eventually they'll get there. For now, I mean,
Oh no, for now it's good, but only if you're like with one other person. It's not good for group chats yet.
Exactly. If you're doing like
it's
one
getting
other person.
there.
But actually, Zoom is free for
I
just
love
two
Zoom.
people. It's unlimited free for just one-on-one chats. It's just if
Well,
you do a group.
45 minutes for
Yeah.
group chats.
All right, guys, we're gonna do a 45 session a month. A 45-minute session a month. All right. So let's see. Last session, what happened? As Rick was saying right before we went live, are we ever gonna leave Omega? Because it feels like we were just there the entire last session. So last session picked up with you guys being in space and having fought and killed the peoples that were scanning your ship. And after you killed them, you're able to have them jettison their cargo and then finish killing them. Took all of that stuff and ran. Some of that stuff is like extremely valuable. We actually realized after last session, we did a bit more math about because things just felt wrong. Our math was off. So if there seems like any break in continuity from prior to this session to this session when it comes to numbers things, don't worry about it. It's not that bad. It's just a few 100,000 credits, but it's okay. Like it's all better now. Yeah, there we go. Cool. You guys got to Omega. You were able to sell the shuttle, do some awesome upgrades for your ship, get a mission to, or you were told to continue that mission that you were doing to go to that colony, and that's kind of the plan as of right now. Literally the last thing that we had happening was Winnie and Antari were heading to the Afterlife. It's a nightclub on Omega to go spend some time like hanging out and relaxing after a day of shopping. So that is literally where we're picking up, is the two of them are heading to the nightclub with one another. And so as you guys are going there, I mean, Winnie, it's not like this is your first time ever going to a place like this. You've been to places like this before, but that doesn't make it any more comfortable when you show up. So you go there, and it's just like, there's an order here. There's no question that there are guards posted at many different locations throughout the club to make sure there's really not much going on. Maybe a small kerfuffle or something happening, but nothing big, nothing grand. No really any guns busting out and people having these big open firefights. Not like an old Western saloon. But these guards don't seem like, they're the law and order of this place. They're probably hired thugs or hired mercenaries to keep this from happening. That's pretty apparent. When you go into the place, it is pretty loud, the level of volume that's happening in there. But you're making your way through, trying to find your way over to a bar. As a matter of fact, while you and Antari are walking, it's kind of like one of those, you look at one another, one of you guys sees like a spot and you gesture, start heading that way, and you guys head over to the table side where it is. The table's over near a bar. It's one of those high up tables that you're gonna have to stand at. There's no room for chairs. And so you make your way over to that table. It takes a little bit of, getting your way through the crowd to get over there, but finally get to the table, and you turn and you look, and Antari isn't there. Maybe she just hasn't made her way to the table yet. Roll for me a perception check.
Perception, what?
My apologies. Perception wisdom.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'd like to remind you that Krax is still following them.
Oh.
Okay, so that's an 8. That 8 is pretty good. Krax, could you also roll me your perception check? Thank you for the reminder.
Yes. That's if Roll20 wants to work with the new Skype. For whatever reason, it's not letting me click any pages on my main monitor.
Oh, that's weird.
Like, I've never had this before. It's so weird. Perception wisdom. Haha. I have such a high wisdom.
All right, let's see. You have a 6. So, Cracks, as soon as they get into the nightclub, you almost immediately lose sight of them. As a matter of fact, you lose sight of them for a while, and you're trying to make your own way through, like, trying to find them for a while. Eventually, you do find Winnie standing at a table, seeming to look around like she's looking for something. But it took you a while to be able to find that. That was a little bit of time after Winnie herself has already been looking for Antari. So you're looking for Antari, and you don't find Antari anywhere. But you do notice that sitting on the table itself, there seems to be like a little packet or something that's right there. There's some items on the table. You don't recall seeing them as you were walking up to it, but Antari's not there, and there's stuff sitting on the table.
I knew Cracks was there, right? Because we talked about before.
Yeah, you guys had seen him like over your shoulder.
So I would probably turn to him like and walk over and say, I have no idea where Antari is. She was here, then she wasn't.
Yeah, he just looks down at Winnie and just shrugs. Like, she probably found someone that she likes to go meld with again.
I don't know, that doesn't really seem like something she would do, but maybe.
He just like gives you this blank stare of just, you have no idea.
She melds with everyone.
Let me tell you the story of the first day on the ship. Where she immediately melded with someone.
Well,
She's been melding with me every week.
Look, that's different. It's educational.
Yes, of course.
well, I'm gonna keep looking for her. And I will just kind of like wander around, keep looking for her.
Yeah, Cracks just like follows a couple feet behind you. It's like he like looks at the stuff on the table. It's like, do we need to keep this table, or are we just going to look for her instead?
I don't think I saw the stuff.
You don't think what?
I didn't see the things there, right?
The things on the table you saw, he didn't before. But if he's walking up to the table, he would
Oh,
see
okay.
it now. Yeah.
Well, then yeah, I'd probably look at that. Maybe it's her things.
Sure. So when you open it up, when you go over there and you actually look at the stuff that's over there, because there's some stuff on the table, you kind of look through. You actually see that one of the things on the table happens to be little bits and modifications for a weapon. As a matter of fact, roll me an electronics check to see if you can tell what it is. Okay, that is an extended barrel. Sorry, an extended clip size for like a modification. So, sorry, my apologies. It's a modification. It's a modified heatsink for a tool. If this were to be used to be attached to a weapon, it would allow the weapon to have double the amount of ammunition.
I've made 2 of them.
Yep, exactly. So it's one of those. But you also find 2 little packets that have some strange powdery red material inside of it.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
There's also a little note that's kind of crumpled up. So it's like not like it's nicely folded or anything like that, but it's all crumpled. And when you open it up, you can see that's written on there. It says, the Silent Queen's Knight goes twice before the Silent Queen. The move is yours.
I turn to Cracks. I'm like, Cracks? What is this?
Kirk just looks down at it. It's like, obviously gun parts, obviously drugs.
Because of drugs?
And a ransom note. Oh no, this is me speaking, not Cracks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's just like looking, shrug.
I can like shrug too. Like, I know what these are. Let's go talk to
Is it
cattle.
a ransom note?
This doesn't seem like a ransom note. There's no like
Is this our stuff?
demands
or,
or people. I think it might be ours now. We need to go
We
talk to
found
Cattle.
it, therefore it must be ours. Because of the instill law of fuck you.
Yeah.
Genuine, out of character.
Cattle's
question
very familiar
is-
with that specific law.
Yeah, this is not our stuff, correct?
I mean, it's sitting there. It doesn't look like it was meant to be yours, but it's sitting there. There's nobody around that seems to notice. Whoever owned it either forgot it here, intentionally left it here, planted it here, or is dead. So
I'm gonna attempt a lore check. To identify this shit. That's fine.
Sure. You have no idea what the what that red powder stuff is.
Since, I've been in the criminal business before, what roll do I need to make?
Lore.
Lower? Wisdom or intelligence?
Intelligence.
Alright. I only have a -1 in that. It's fine.
You have no idea what it is.
Just guessing it's drugs. Because it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so I grab the things and I'm gonna go try to find Cattle.
Sure.
Send
So
him a little message.
you guys get the stuff and you start trying to head your way out of the afterlife. So instead of relaxing and have that drink with Ontario that you had intended to, instead you're kind of like, oh, she just ghosted on me, and now I have to find out what the hell this stuff is that's here. So you're gonna make your way out of afterlife. It's again, the crowds are kind of thick. There are a lot of people in there dancing and whatnot, and kind of like bumping into you with their dancing, and like it's your fault because you shouldn't have been in their way. Could both of you guys make me a perception wisdom check, please?
To see if we get pickpocketed. It's my guess, by the way.
It's a 9 for Winnie.
It's really high for me.
Yeah. And 11 for Cracks.
Hey!
So, Winnie, you actually do notice while somebody's dancing, they dance and they're actually bumping into you, and I guess it feels like it's intentional. Oh shit! They literally just snagged a fistful of credit chips from you. Each credit chip being worth more than, say, an individual credit. They literally just snagged credit chips from you. Luckily, before that you even saw that happening, Cracks had already seen it and started reacting. Because Cracks rolled extremely well. So Cracks, you see somebody trying to snag credit chips from Winnie as you're walking your way out with her.
What race?
What are they called?
Batarians, because they're jerks.
Yeah. No. What the hell are they?
Sorry, parasites.
Friggin', what's his name there? The cattle's
Solarian?
race. Solarian.
Solarians, yeah.
Solarian.
Wow,
God,
thanks,
I
Scott.
could not think of Solarian.
Go figure, it's a filthy Solarian.
Cold-blooded.
You know
bastard.
they're no good.
So what do you do?
Crack just comes up behind the Solarian and just like very firmly puts his hands on their shoulders. It's like, and just says, "Would you like to give her things back?"
You can roll for me a talk strength check with a +2. I have a feeling it's gonna be a very big number.
Well, I have a -2 in talk. I rolled a 4 and still got an 8.
Yeah. So you say that and you put your hands on it, and he's like, yeah. And he puts he just kind of like drops the credit chips, like throws them into like her stomach, and kind of like lets go. So she catches them, like 1 or 2 fall to the ground, but for the most part he's just kind of like, yeah, sorry, wrong pocket. and he goes to like try to leave, but obviously he's still holding his shoulders at the moment.
Oh, Crack just like tosses him. Like, not intending on harming, but just like tosses him out of the way.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's literally just one of those like move it tiny.
Yeah.
And the two of you continue making your way out of Afterlife. As you make your way out, you can see that the guards are now eyeing you, Cracks, because as you like watch out, they clearly, at least one of them saw that you had some sort of interaction with somebody, and so they're very clearly eyeing you. But nobody's like reaching for their gun, or actually they're already holding their gun. Somebody's like reaching for the trigger or anything like that. They just kind of just watch you as you walk by. After you guys leave Afterlife, you're gonna head straight back to your ship.
Yeah.
Okay, and you do so with ease. You head back to the ship, and what's his name is there? Cattle is there.
Hey, Cattle, did Entree come back to the ship?
No, I haven't seen her around. Why? I thought she went with you to party in Afterlife. And I look around. Oh, she's not here.
She vanished while we were there. Hey, does this stuff mean anything to you? And I'll give him the contents.
Sure.
Like, obviously, I know what the blueprints are.
I would like to make a lore check then to figure out what all the stuff is that I've just been handed.
Lore intelligence, but I'm actually gonna give you, Rick, a +1 on this one.
Ooh, I like +1s.
With your 8, unfortunately, it's still not high enough to know what this is.
I know what you mean.
So you're looking it over, and it's like one of those, same as like with cracks. It's kind of like looks like drugs, you know, like, but you don't have like you have no idea what it does.
I don't know. It's definitely not kosher, but it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't quite just. Sorry.
Crux is very tempted to take it just to figure out what it does.
God, cracks does have a low wisdom. Oh man.
I mean, I was gonna make a reference to how it's red and looks like sand, but.
I mean, he has a wisdom of 14, but he is very curious.
Well, what about...
I've only got a wisdom of 7. I would be the one tasting it, actually.
What about the crumbled note?
Oh, yeah, can I take a look at that? Because
Yep.
it seems to be like some sort of riddle. I
Yeah,
didn't catch all of it because
says,
I was busy doing things.
Yeah, no, you're fine. It says the Silent Queen's Knights goes twice before the Silent Queen. The move is yours.
Were I a lesser man, I'd think of a human game called checkers, but can I make a check to figure out what that means, or?
I mean, you can, but you're not sure that it's going to help you.
Sure, why not? It's worth a shot. Eh.
Yeah, you have no idea. No
I got
idea.
nothing.
Got nothing.
I'm actually
Well-
tempted.
Maybe she did just go home with someone. And she'll be back
I mean,
tomorrow?
you know how Entree is. She does like to build with people a lot.
That's true, but
I like, you know, that's where these two characters go first when they think of her disappearing.
Well, I mean, she did buy a dancer's outfit. It's hard to, put the blame on us for this one.
Yeah.
She goes out, she buys a dancer's outfit.
I-
She's melted with already 2 people in such a short period of time. You guys are just making assumptions here. So,
yeah, I don't
So,
know. I guess so.
Ontori
I guess
has
I
told
won't
us
worry
that
until
she's a
tomorrow.
hunter, right?
what was that?
Sorry.
What did you say?
Oh, for Aaron or me.
You said
You,
Atari
oh.
has told us something.
She told us she's a huntress, right? In like training.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's very obvious in her training that she is, yeah. And she even mentioned her handler once to somebody.
Yeah. to Krax, this is like, oh, this no, she's the knight, and she got sent on a mission or something. Okay. Should we wait for her? How long is this mission gonna be? Because,
Was this a note for Antari?
that's just what he's assuming.
was-
I don't know,
How
but
did you
he's
guys
assuming
find this
so.
stuff exactly?
It was left on where she was sitting.
So she disappeared and left behind some gun mods, possibly drugs, and a riddle.
That sounds likely.
Sure. Fair enough.
Cattle, you had you guys kind of like just like, oh, I don't even know what to do with this. Let's just keep doing what we were before. You actually had plans of something that you wanted to do here before you had left anyways. Unfortunately,
Exactly.
leaving without the captain well, you're the captain, but you know what I mean, the person that takes care of like battle,
The executive
command and
officer.
whatnot on the ship. It doesn't sound ideal, but you do have a task, and you believe there's a bit of a time limit for that task. So you wanted to get together something while you were here in Omega. How would you like to go about doing that?
I'd probably try to hit up my contacts. I'd also, if Andre was here, I'd ask her, like, oh yeah, you remember, you remember Sparky, right? Yeah, I need his alliance code for no particular reason. But, I might ask Winnie about that, because, she was there, Krax was there. I don't think Krax would remember, but perhaps Winnie might, because she was on the shuttle that got transmitted those alliance codes. I would like to use those specific alliance codes belonging to our deceased friend to try and make it look like we are supposed to be there on orders of the alliance. Because
What
it's
should
a
I
secret
roll?
outpost.
Try and remember, Scott.
So it's not necessarily a matter of remembering, because think about these codes are insanely long. It's going to be more of an electronics check to see if you have them stored somewhere. You're going to go searching throughout your own computing to see if you have them stored somewhere. Okay. So you go searching through your databanks and everything to see if you can find them. And you're like, yeah, no, I do have some of the codes and whatnot that he used beforehand. You're not sure if these are the exact ones that he needs, but you do have, in fact, a good number of like the different signals that he sends, frequencies, codes, all that stuff. So, as well as, of course, his rank and his number. You Rick?
Oh, you want me to make a check as well?
Ooh. My apologies. That's what she gives to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't really understand you there. Okay, so could I then make a decryption roll to try and make that into a convincing document to try and fool the people that the place we're supposed to go to?
Absolutely. So you're going to try to more or less make it, yes, this is a mission given to us by Sparky.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, go right ahead. You know what? When everything's said and done, you look it over and you compare it to the documents that you have examples of from Alliance paperwork, and you're like, this actually lines up really well. The language here works out pretty well. Like, no, this actually is really good. I'm happy. I'm happy with what I made here. It seems convincing. I'd be convinced.
The whole time you were saying that, I'm not sure why, but I was just expecting a but to come up at some point.
No buts. I mean,
That's a shame. I mean, there's plenty of buts on this Omega, but yeah.
I was going to say, I could bust out into some Sir Mix-a-Lot if you want, but I don't think anybody would appreciate that.
Yeah, no, let's not.
Yeah.
We do want to not get banned on Twitch after all.
There's a little dance to go with it, no? So no, it seems like you put together the documents, everything, so you seem happy with it.
All right, I will try to send Entree a message on her Omni tool because we're about to leave, and I'll let her know that since she apparently went AWOL, we'll pick her up here at some point or whatever. There's not much more I can do.
Are we sure she left of her own accord and she wasn't, just taken somewhere? Maybe we want to check first?
I mean, Cattle's under the assumption that... I don't know, would he?
I mean, we do have a couple contacts here, which we've already rolled really well with. We could just put like an APB up, just being like, hey, did anybody kidnap this person?
Is this her body? Have you found her body somewhere?
If so, this is our person. Please return them to us.
Preferably in one piece.
So is that something you guys actually want to do? Did you kidnap this person?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys get together a little message, and you more or less try to broadcast it throughout the station, like an image of Antari, like, oh, did you kidnap this person? If so, please return them to us. We'd really appreciate that. And when you send that message out, there's no response for the first several hours, and then you actually do get a ping for like the frequency or whatever that you told people to contact you on, the radio frequency. and somebody's like, and you hear a Krogan voice, and they're like, "Hey, is this you guys the ones looking for the Asari?
That is correct, yes.
We got the Asari. We'll give her to you."
Cracks, I assume, is listening in on this.
Of course, absolutely.
They're on
Um,
loudspeaker, basically. Highly futuristic, but loudspeaker.
Intercoms in every room.
Oh, this is easy then. Yeah, Crack just asks, cut off her fingers and send them to us for proof.
No. Don't do that. Do not do that.
You want Asari fingers?
Nope.
All right. I'll
How
get
about
you
this?
Asari
No,
fingers.
she just bought a new outfit. The other day, you could send us the spare stuff she had on her. Maybe it's not worth much, and it's not fingers.
But I can get her fingers right now.
No.
All right. What's spare stuff?
There was a bag, and I'll describe like the outfit in the bag.
I will send that stuff to you. All right. So a little bit of time passes. A couple hours.
So they've got a captive Asari, and they're sending her dancer outfit to us.
Yes.
Okay, no, she wasn't wearing the dancer outfit.
And so eventually you have like a Vorsha is banging on the door to your vessel.
think Crack's
I
just,
look
like,
at
hits
Cracks to open the
button.
door.
Yeah.
So the door
Is
opens
Cracks
up.
alone doing this, or? Coddle?
Sorry, what?
Is Cracks just standing at the doorway alone? Because
I mean, I'm behind you, but you're in front.
Oh,
because I'm
he's going
smart.
to kill the Vorcha.
Don't kill the Vorcha. I specifically instruct you not to kill the Vorcha unless he like provokes you in a way that means you should kill him.
Dismember the Vorcha.
So
I thought you were the honorable one. You were waving corpse daggers at me, but no. This Vorcha who's just knocking on a door, he's fair game.
It's a Vorcha. Nobody cares about Vorcha.
So the door opens up and the Vorsha's standing there, and like it looks at you, and it's like, "Yes, I've got that for you," and it throws an Asari's dancer's outfit onto the ground.
Cracks just looks at him. It's like, looks at the dress, looks at the Vorcha, looks at the dress. You should pick that up.
You wanted it for your proof. It's proof. Now, are you here to give the credits?
How many credits was that again?
25,000 credits for your Asari with fingers.
Cracks, pin him to the wall.
Cracks, you know.
Yet.
Oh, okay. Good correction.